ਐਡਵੋਕੇਟ ਜਗਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਭੱਟੀ YouTube ਚੈਨਲ ਅੱਜ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਜਾਂ ਕਬੱਡੀ ਇਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੋਰ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ, ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਐਡ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਨਾਲ, ਲਿਵ ਗਾਰਡ ਇਨਵਰਟਰ ਐਂਡ ਬੈਟਰੀਜ਼। ਜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਟਰੀ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਜਾਏ ਤੇ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ 'ਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਇਹ ਇੰਡੀਕੇਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਖੜੀ ਹੈ ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਬੰਧਨ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਚਲਨ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ? ਅਨਿਲ ਭਾਟੀਆ ਜੀ ਨਾਲ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਪਛਾਣੀ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿ ਕੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਟੱਡੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਦੇਖਿਆ, ਕੀ ਸਮਝਿਆ, ਕੀ ਸੋਚਿਆ, ਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੋਇਆ। ਦੇਖੋ, PhD ਦੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਵਿਕ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਸ ਹਿੰਦੁਸਤਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। PhD ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। PhD ਦੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ 10ਵੀਂ ਫੇਲ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਕਨਫਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਆਨਰੇਰੀ ਡਿਗਰੀ। ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣ ਦੀ ਜਾਂ ਬੋਲਣ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਨਹੀਂ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਡਿਗਰੀਆਂ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਨ ਸਨਮਾਨ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ 'ਚ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ? ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਕਵੀਲੈਂਟ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲੀ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ? ਇਸ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ। ਤੇ ਅਨਿਲ ਭਾਟੀਆ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਰੂਬਰੂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਦੇ ਐਜੂਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਦੀਆਂ। ਸਰ, very good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, friends, today again, on the request of Bhatti Sahab, who has compelled me to share my views on the system of education in Australia and its comparison with the system of education which we have in our great country. Well, I have been in teaching profession for the last more than 50 years, and I have taught in various colleges and universities. When I started my career as a teacher of English, after doing my post-graduation from Punjab University, Chandigarh, I had many aspirations and many dreams to be fulfilled. But at the fag end of my life and career, I am totally disillusioned because I find the present system of education in our country is in doldrums and it is in great shambles. And the reasons for this are not far to seek, because in our country everything is being managed by bureaucrats. Every state government has a higher education department. Now we have a principal secretary higher education, then we have director higher education, then we have director secondary education, then we have director middle education, then we have director primary education also, and under those there are district education officers also. So what I want to say, that in the entire system of education, a teacher is an odd cog in the total machinery of education. He has no say whatsoever, and he is purely at the mercy of these petty bureaucrats, whether they are SCS or PCS or IAS, who are controlling the system of education. Even the University Grants Commission, which claims to control all the universities and deemed universities of the country, it has become a totally defunct body. It has no control over the functioning of universities and the affiliated colleges. So this kind of scenario prevails in our country. Now, lately when I was in Australia, I observed the system of education in Australia, and I visited University of Sydney, University of Melbourne, and I visited several colleges and schools also, and there
ओ यार चुप कर जाओ, चुप कर जाओ।
surprised to see
The quality of education which they are delivering, the discipline which they are knowing and willfully knowing and causing us disturbance in our video. This is the education system which led to the fall of nation.
Now sometimes, Bhatti Sahab, I wonder that why the students of India want to study abroad, whether it is Canada or England or America or Australia or New Zealand. Now this is not the question of brain drain. The thing is that the quality of education right from primary education up to university education, is awfully bad in our country. And we are not producing scholars or thinkers or intellectuals. We are only producing crammers and voters. Now, a degree is just a piece of paper. But I've seen our students, after doing their plus two, when they go to Australia or New Zealand, they shine like stars. Now, the conditions are same. But the question is the question of environment. Now, there they get a quality education. Education is the base of a decent living. But here, an educated person is a totally frustrated and disgusted person, because we are controlled by petty bureaucrats and our corrupt politicians also. Now, lately, I met Director of Public Instructions Colleges, who's an IAS officer with 20 years of experience in civil services. So I went to meet him in his office, and the moment I entered his office, I could see his arrogant attitude. He said, first, you keep your mobile off. I said, it is off. Then he said, you keep it out. I said, no, this is my personal thing. I will not part with it. Then I was carrying a bag in which there were some papers, and then he said, you put the bag outside my office. I said, no, these are the papers which I want to show you so that you get yourself educated and enlightened. And then I sat on the chair, and that gentleman had the gumption to tell me that I didn't offer you chair. I said, you lack courtesy. Now I have sitting on the chair and you can't ask me to get out. Now I talked to him for about 10 minutes, and I told him about the difficulties which are being faced by the teachers of private aided colleges and common colleges. After listening to me for about 15 minutes, he said, what is your grouse? I said, I am a teacher and I am interested in the welfare of higher education and in the system of higher education. Then he said, okay, I have heard you. Now you leave, and whatever you want to say, you send me email. Now this is the kind of attitude, totally apathetic, indifferent, callous and lackadaisical attitude. Now this is quite disgusting. The situation is very serious. Now lately, once I was going in Sydney and I saw a school, 1840 established, under the name Knox Grammar School. And the school runs into 2 miles. I went inside the school. I talked to the lady who was at the reception counter, and I said, well, I'm a teacher from India and I would like to see the school and I would like to interact with your headmaster and the faculty. Immediately, she talked to the headmaster of the school that there is one teacher who has come from India with 50 years of experience, and within 5 minutes, the headmaster came out from his office. He shook hands with me, took to his office, offered me a cup of coffee and a cupcake, and then he took me around the entire school, and I was stunned to see the infrastructure of that school, the library, the laboratories, the playground. And I was amazed when the headmaster said, here in our school, there are no peons, there are no clerks, there are no head clerks, there are no superintendents, and the teachers and the students every day, they sweep the floors and clean the garden of the school. And there was a pin drop silence in the school. Every student has been provided with an almirah, and the education is from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. the students do their homework, and after that for 2 hours games are compulsory for every student, and when the students go back to their houses, they go minus their bags, and very cheerful. There are no school buses. Every student comes by a train or his parents drop him, and I could see the cheerfulness on their face because there is no tension, there is no frustration, and they are quite hopeful about their bright future. But here I find my students sullen, and even after doing MA, MSc, MPhil, PhD, well, they have no hope of getting a job. I'm shocked that a PhD in chemistry is working as a clerk. Now, this is the scenario of job opportunities and job employment in our country. Now, what is the link between PhD in chemistry and a bank clerk? Now, for becoming a bank clerk, we just need a simple BCom who has the knowledge of economics, statistics, accounts, and mathematics. But people, even PhD holders, I'm told they are willing to work even as peons also, because everybody runs after the government jobs. And the simple formula for getting a government job is that your salary is ensured and you look busy, do nothing. Once you enter into a government job, you are secure till you die, and you get pension, you get gratuity, you get provident fund, and you get all the perks.
Family
I'm shocked.
pension.
I'm shocked that no bureaucrat wants to come to the education department. Why? Because there is no bribe, there is no corruption, there is no extra income. And as a teacher, I feel that education is the most sensitive and most important department of a state, but it is totally neglected. Now, I don't know where we are heading towards, because the system of education is topsy-turvy. Teachers are demotivated. Now, a demotivated teacher can never motivate his students. And lately, I met two students who were doing MSc in Food and Nutrition in Home Science College, Chandigarh, and I perchance met them. And one of them coming from middle class family, and one of them said, "Sir, our teachers don't teach at all. They have done BSc honors from Lady Irwin College, Delhi." And one of the students told me, "Sir, whatever they teach us, we have already read in Irwin College, Delhi." Now they don't teach at all. They don't go to classroom, and they say, "Well, I have taught you. You come with your presentation." So the thing is, teachers are totally indifferent. They are not interested in teaching. Knowledge comes through learning, and wisdom comes through living. I am reminded, lately I read a book by Admiral William McEwan, who was an admiral in Navy in America, and he went to deliver a convocation address to the graduates of the University of Texas at Austin, and he has written a book, Making the Bed. And the first sentence he wrote down is that if you want to change the world, better start off by making your bed. Now the thing is that whatever your financial condition may be, you may be a millionaire, you may be a billionaire, you may be a trillionaire, but if your mental condition is not stable, that financial condition becomes zero. Now this is the scene which we have seen, because every Indian is only after one thing, that is making more and more and more and more money, irrespective of any ethics, any morality. I sometimes tell my students that in this world, which is a temporary world because of life is very short, values are more important than valuables. But here we are after valuables. Everybody wants a big car, a posh bungalow, a constable as a security guard. Now, I don't find anything in foreign countries also. I am reminded of a famous quotation by Aesop. Most of you must have read Aesop's fables, and he said once that we hang petty thieves and we appoint great ones to the public offices. And this is the scene which I am watching in our country. Punjabi ji kawat hai, chor chaka chaudhary, gundi ran pradhan. Now I fail to understand that this bloody Delhi chief minister, he claims Kejriwal education system, Kejriwal education model. And are you Aristotle? Are you Plato? Are you Socrates? Are you Shakespeare? What is your model of education? What do you know? You yourself did your BTech from Kharagpur on industrial quota, and now you say कि हमने स्कूलों की दशा बदल दी है, स्कूलों की दिशा बदल दी है. So they are just befooling the public, and this is nothing but pure gimmickry and nothing of that sort. So I pray to my countrymen and to the political power that be, and to the bureaucrats, to kindly be serious as far as education is concerned. Because if the education in a country is sound, only then the country can become sound and country can become strong also. Our youth should be a searchers of truth. But for searching truth, you need clarity, you need commitment, you need courage. But nobody bothers about truth because they say might is right. Let the things go on. Thank you very much.
One thing more.
Yes, sir.
There are stunts and stints of interviews, and many students are invited, and a list is already prepared. What do you say about this?
Well, everything is through backdoor entry. I fail to understand what is the role of an MLA or an MP for helping somebody to get a job. If the student deserves a job on merit, he should be invited. But here, on the basis of color, on the basis of caste, on the basis of creed, on the basis of religion, I fail to understand what is this bloody quota system. SC, BC, sport quota, military quota. What nonsense! And students feel hurt that, sir, a backward class student with 40% of marks has got into civil services and my percentage was 78% and I am nowhere on the road. So we are discriminating the society, we are dividing the people. Well, this is nonsense.
Wonderful right to equality, wonderful right to equality as enshrined our Constitution of India. And I have come across even the universities are favoring while setting the students at home without admission and degrees conferred.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Article 14 and Article 16 only exist in the Constitution and in the books because the reality is otherwise.
Even if there was a news last time, out of 20 lakh advocates in the country, 12 lakh are fake degree holder and many are judges and nobody is taking care from this angle.
Well, but when I was a student, I used to hear that only 3 professions are highly respected. The profession of a teacher, the profession of a lawyer and the profession of a doctor. And all these 3 professions have now gone to dogs.
Unfortunate is the state of affair and hopefully this is in the national interest and this video has been shooted in the open air so that the open air may come to your people of India, we the people of India, and you may stand for our country. And whichsoever is the setback to our country, intellectuals are given setback, intellectual teachers are given setback, victimization and succumbing to many pressures. Who is accountable? It is a question of event, thing and many more multifarious activities, and I believe that we the people of India will listen to this, share it, share my channel, subscribe my channel and deliver this to every right-minded people so that the senses of India, the lost senses of India,
The lost glory of this country.
the lost glory of this country may come. Thank you, Bhatia Sahab,
Thank you, sir.
so much. Thank
Thank you very much. I'm obliged. Thank you, sir.